I'd take a moment to take a look. Isidore looked at Ayla with a very serious expression. As if her uncle's serious expression had changed, she nodded with a stiff face. He felt like he could do anything to break the curse on his body. While Roderick and Ophelia watched with worried faces, Isidore stroked his chin and examined Ayla from various angles. Ayla felt a strange uncomfortable feeling and rubbed the back of her neck. He didn't see anything, but did Isidore really see anything? That's when he thought of such nonsense. Phew! Isidore screamed and shook his hair furiously. Ayla shivered in surprise at her uncle's sudden and unexpected action. Why do you do that? Roderick, who had been watching silently, asked in an urgent voice, perhaps bewildered by her actions. It definitely seems like there's something there. It is well hidden. It's frustrating because it's so vaguely visible. Isidore, who had been losing his temper in frustration, took a deep breath after a while and regained his usual composure. Can I go to my room for a moment? I brought something from home just in case something like this happened, but I left it in my room. Oh, I'll guide you, brother. No. I think Roderick would be better than you. It's a little heavy, you know? Would you like to go with me? When Ophelia, sitting on the edge of the bed, suddenly stood up and said she would go with him, Isidore shook his head. Therefore, Roderick, who was suddenly left alone with his awkward older brother, disappeared down the hallway where he had entered with Isidore, sweating profusely. Do you mind if Laura bursts in suddenly? Don't worry. Most of the employees are washing dishes in the kitchen. Ophelia gently stroked Ayla's back, her expression worried, and reassured her in a soft voice. He explained that he had deliberately chosen dishes that required many for today's menu. Do you remember what I told you? I said I would somehow break your curse. Thank you. Ayla felt a surprising sense of peace as her mother's warm hand stroked her hair. Even if her uncle's power could not break the curse, she trusted her mother to protect her in some way. After a while, the arch of the secret passage opened again. Roderick entered through the open door, carrying a large bag. Hey, be careful. You have to leave it carefully so that it doesn't break. Isidore, who followed him, spoke restlessly. Roderick held it so lightly that he thought it wouldn't weigh that much for its size, but upon opening the bag, a rather heavy-looking metal device emerged. If you do it like this, it's done. As Isidore moved the device and finally injected magic into it, it began to work with a small hum. Then he lifted the long rod connected to the device and approached Ayla. Don't be afraid. It's just a brief flash of light. It won't hurt you. Place. As Ayla nodded with a slightly nervous expression, Isidore gently illuminated that part of her body. And as if trying to examine her thoroughly, he began to climb, starting with the tips of her right fingers. Even without seeing anything, Ayla watched her uncle's actions with slight discomfort. But that was only a moment. Ah! Isidore, who was watching the back of his head with the light, gasped as if he had discovered something, and Ophelia. And Roderick also seemed surprised. Is he here? That? What's there? I want to see it too. Seeing her parents and uncle looking at her with worried expressions, Ayla wanted to see what they saw. But since they were right behind his neck, he couldn't see, and it was frustrating. Wouldn't it be better not to look? Ophelia asked in a worried voice, apparently worried that her daughter would be scared. It's my body. Please let me see it. Are you sure he's okay? Yeah. As Ayla nodded coldly, her mother, who had exchanged glances with her father for a moment, picked her up and sat her in front of the vanity mirror. Then she grabbed the small hand mirror from the dresser and looked at the back of her head. Ayla looked at the back of her head in the hand mirror several times, her eyes wide with surprise. This was because black smoke ascended in the shape of a scorpion up his cervical spine. A black scorpion seemed to be tied to the back of her neck, and Ayla subconsciously reached out towards her. But of course there was nothing to hold on to. It seems that the curse is designed to break your cervical vertebrae when activated. It can even be activated remotely. When Isidore turned off the light that illuminated the back of his neck with a gloomy face, the black smoke coming from Ayla's neck disappeared as if it were a lie. And Ayla quietly repeated her uncle's words. Breaking my neck. I knew that I would lose my life in an instant if the curse was activated, but wasn't the method too cruel? Well, no matter the method, losing your life to a curse can't be anything but cruel. Ayla burst out laughing. Can you solve it? When Roderick asked with a serious voice and a frown, Isidore made an uncomfortable face. It seems like it will be difficult right away and will take time. I guess I'll have to depend on you for a while. What do you mean by depend? What are you talking about, brother? We are family. You're right. And even if we weren't family, there's nothing I couldn't do for you, since you're doing so much for our daughter. When Isidore said he would be in their care for a while, the couple responded with a wave of their hands. Put like that. I'm not helping anyone else. I'm just trying to save my niece. Isidore shrugged awkwardly. Well, hasn't it been a while? I think it's time to go back. Even if I washed all the dishes in the mansion, I'd be done by now, he said, scratching the back of his neck. Ah, I see. Let's go. Roderick nodded and, together with Isidore, began to put the metal devices into their bags. And before everyone left, Ophelia tucked Ayla into bed and covered her with the blanket, as if she were helping a very young daughter fall asleep. A long time ago, before Ayla left this mansion. My daughter, don't worry about anything and sleep well. The mother, who greeted her with affection and eyes full of affection, gave her daughter a kiss on the forehead. Yes, mother. A loving kiss from a mother. He felt like he had missed this moment for so long that he had even forgotten that he missed it. Then sleep well. Although he did not kiss her like Ophelia, Roderick also gave her a pleasant smile that only those close to him could recognize, and said goodbye before disappearing at the entrance of the secret passage with the others. Ayla smiled and closed her eyes. That night, I felt like I could have sweet dreams. Returning to the guest room, Isidore did not go straight to bed, but instead sat at his desk, arms crossed and leaning back in his chair. It's a black scorpion. A black scorpion symbol. He clearly remembered seeing it somewhere. But there was a problem. I don't remember where I saw it. He continued to toss and turn in bed, lost in thought, as if his position was uncomfortable. Black scorpion, damn. As Isidore searched through his memories for a while, a memory from a long time ago crossed his mind. It had been almost 30 years since he was about the same age as his son, Egbert. Ah, that major. When Isidore, a first-year student at the academy and 2 years older than him, came to mind, he clapped his hands lightly, as if his curiosity had finally been satisfied. He couldn't remember his name, but he was a rare foreign student at the National Academy, where most of the students were from the Timor Republic. A student with a tattoo of a black scorpion on her left cheek, who always liked to wear dark and black clothes. If I remember correctly, I think it was from the Palace Empire. He vaguely remembered being a gloomy person, always disconnected from others and always lonely. She was also known for being a strange student, with a great interest in curses and black magic. Did they expel you? No, did you leave it on your own? Although he did not remember the details, he was sure that he had returned to the Palace Empire without completing his training. The academy remained silent, but there was much talk among the students that she had been expelled due to an accident. If it really is a curse that has been placed. Isidore rubbed his chin nervously, deep in thought. He would try with all his might, but if he couldn't break his niece's curse, shouldn't they at least try to find him? He decided to discuss it with his sister as soon as it was light and contact Candace Eposher, and then he went to bed late and tried to sleep.